Class we have apply momentum balance on a fluid flowing through a horizontal pipe. So in this class we will take similar example, but the pipe is vertically placed. So in this example the pipe is vertically placed, in which fluid is flowing from upward direction to the downward direction. It means in the z direction the fluid is moving in z direction. uh, Now, again, there are three forces acting on the fluid. One is the convective force due to bulk movement of the fluid in this direction. Second one is diffusive force, which is acting in this horizontal direction due to diffusion of the molecules. And third one is gravity force, which is again uh, in downward direction. So we as in previous classes, we have a vertical section of pipe in which an incompressible Newtonian fluid is flowing in one dimensional steady state and laminar flow. The flow is fully developed. It means it is not influenced by entrance and exit effect, and the velocity profile does not vary along the axis of flow in this one is in z direction, because this direction is z. So the fluid is not moving in z direction. It means the fluid, if we if this is the for example axis of the pipe, then there is no velocity variation in at different point, at this point, this point, this point, this point. So everywhere velocity will be same. So there is no velocity variation along the z direction. We will quickly discuss about the major assumptions. First one is the fluid is steady state. It means there is no variation in flow rate with respect to time. The flow is laminar. Yes, and the flow is laminar. It means the fluid is flowing. There are fluid layer which are moving past each other. The fluid property are constant, like its density and viscosity. The flow is unidirectional. It means there is only Vz, and the radial movement of the fluid and the angular movement of the fluid is 0. It means V theta and V are equal to 0, and there is only one component of velocity, that is Vz. The fluid is Newtonian, so that we can apply Newton law of viscosity. It means the fluid layer which is in contact with the solid wall having 0 velocity. The flow is fully developed. It means the entrance and exit effect are negligible. That this is possible only because the this length of the pipe is very large as compared to its diameter. This length is very large as compared to its diameter. So whatever entrance and exit effect, and there are mainly entrance effect. So because exit effect will be at the exit only. So whatever may be the entrance effect on the pipe is near to this section only. After that the fluid will be fully developed. But if this section is very small as compared to entire length of the pipe, then we can neglect this effect. So because this effect is very negligible and the fluid is fully developed. So in this case we are assuming the fluid is fully developed and there is no effect of the entrance effect, and there is no velocity variation along the x-axis. And the flow of fluid is under gravity only. It means there are no external force applied on the fluid, and the fluid occur only due to gravitational force. So these are major assumptions. So if we apply momentum balance, as I told you earlier, there are three type of force acting on this controlled volume. First one is due to convective flow of the fluid. Second one is due to diffusive movement, and third one is gravitational force. So rate of momentum in due to molecular transport. So this tau rz is the shear stress multiplied by area. So area will be equal to 2 pi r into L. So if you can again see in this diagram, this R means in this direction. So tau Rx is shear stress, and the surface area will be equal to this area. So this area will be equal to 2 pi R multiplied by this length. This length is L, 2 pi RL. So it will give this surface area 2 pi R into tau Rx. Similarly, the rate of momentum out due to molecular transport at R plus delta R will be equal to 2 pi RL tau Rx Z tau RZ R plus delta R. Again, we have considered that the fluid is fully developed and there is no variation in velocity along the Z direction. There is no velocity variation along the Z direction. So whatever convective momentum transport at this at the entrance will be equal to the convective momentum at the exit. So the net momentum transfer due to convective force will be 0. And the net rate of momentum transfer due to convective transport, the net convective momentum flux across the annular surface at Z and Z plus delta Z is 0, since the flow is fully developed and the term are independent of Z. It means there is it means the velocity at Z and is equal to velocity at Z plus delta Z. The third force is gravitational force. So this gravitational force is this 2 pi RL into delta R. So this will give the volume of control volume. Volume of control volume will be equal to 2 pi R. Delta R is its surface area multiplied by this delta R thickness. So it will give total volume, and if we multiply this volume by its density, then it will give mass of the control volume, and mass into g, acceleration due to gravity. This will give the gravitational force acting on this control volume. Now if we put all these value in conservation of momentum balance equation, then finally we will get this equation. The convective momentum transfer is 0 and we left with only 3 quantity, and these equations are this. So the rate of convective momentum transfer is constant at the entrance and exit, so net momentum transfer is 0, and finally we will get this equation. So again, if we simplify this equation and divide this equation by 2 pi L delta R and take limit delta R tends to 0, then the above equation will reduce to this form, and this equation can be converted into differential form, and which is equal to d by dr r tau rz equal to r rho g. To solve value of shear stress, we need to integrate this equation. So integrate this above equation and finally you will get this equation. Now to solve this integration constant C1, you need to know the value of boundary condition. Also, if you can see this equation, so this is equation of line. It means the momentum flux profile will be linear, and this value will be maximum when r equal to capital R, means the radius of the pipe. So the maximum value will be at the wall. The profile is linear and maximum value is at the wall. Now to solve this equation, or we can say to determine the value of integration constant, you need boundary condition. The first boundary condition at r equal to 0. So at r equal to 0, the velocity will be maximum. So and we know this shear stress is equal to the velocity gradient, and Vz equal to is maximum, and which has some constant value. So differentiation of some constant value equal to 0. So for first boundary condition at r equal to 0, this tau rz will be equal to 0. So if we put this boundary condition in above equation, we will get C1 equal to 0. Similarly, second boundary condition at r equal to capital R. At r equal to capital R means at the surface, solid surface of the pipe. So at that point the velocity will be 0 due to no slip condition, because the pipe is stationary and the layer, fluid layer which is in contact with that pipe will also have 0 velocity due to no slip condition. So the second boundary condition will be at r equal to capital R, Vz will be equal to 0. So after applying first boundary condition in this equation, we will get C1 equal to 0, and this equation will become this one, r tau rz will be equal to rho g r by 2. Now we can apply viscosity, that is tau rz will be equal to minus mu dvz by dr, and if we put this value in above equation, finally we will get this equation. Now to solve this equation, we have to separate the variable and integrate this equation, and after integration we get this equation. Now to solve integration constant, we need second boundary condition. It means at r equal to capital R, Vz equal to 0. So if we put this boundary condition in this equation, the final value of C2 will be this one. So after putting value of C2 in this equation, the final value of velocity is Vz equal to rho g r square upon 4 mu 1 minus r by capital R whole square. Again, this equation is parabolic in nature, so the velocity profile will be parabolic, as you can see in okay, here velocity profile is not given. So the velocity profile will be parabolic. Velocity profile will be parabolic. So this is the pipe, you will get the parabolic velocity profile. And maximum velocity occur, where will be the maximum velocity occur? So if you can see, if we put r equal to 0, in that case this term will be 0 and this entire right hand side term will be maximum. So the maximum velocity occur at r equal to 0. Similarly, at r equal to capital R, this term will be equal to 1, and 1 minus 1 becomes 0, and finally Vz will be 0. So at r equal to capital R, this velocity will be equal to 0, and that is true because of no slip condition. Now as I told you, the maximum velocity occur at r equal to 0. So put r equal to 0 in above equation, and finally we will get Vz max equal to rho g r square upon 4 mu. And to calculate average velocity, the average velocity is equal to the volumetric flow rate divided by area. This volumetric flow rate is velocity multiplied by area. This will give volumetric flow rate and divided by this area. Now put value of area and volumetric flow rate in this equation. Finally you will get this equation, and after integrating with respect to theta, this equation will be reduced in this form. Now replace this Vz which we have calculated in our previous slide. So replace this Vz in this equation, and then we will get this equation, and then integrate this equation and you will get this equation. Now put value now put these limits 0 to r, and finally the vz will be equal to rho g r square upon 8 mu. Now if you compare this maximum velocity by average velocity, then you can say average velocity is equal to half of maximum velocity. For calculating mass flow rate, the mass flow rate is equal to average velocity into area into density. The average unit of average velocity is meter per second. If you multiply it by area, it will give meter cube per second, and again if you multiply it by density, then this meter cube will be cancelled out and it will be equal to mass and mass per unit second, because it's velocity. So in this way you can calculate mass flow rate. So average velocity we have already calculated, area we know, density if we put density as rho, then finally the mass flow rate will be equal to pi rho square gr raised to power 4 upon 8 mu. And force exerted at the wall of the tube is area multiply by tau rz at r equal to capital R. Area is equal to 2 pi rl. So after solving this equation, finally the force will be equal to Fz equal to pi r square L rho g. So in this way we can solve such type of problem. This is end of today class. Thank you.